Welcome back to the Arctic Den. Today we are playing a simulator where you may or may not have a girlfriend. Oh boy, the pain when it hits me is intense. It comes on so suddenly I feel like I'm gonna be sick. It hurts more than I thought it would. Yeah, pain is normally like that. It hurts more than I can endure. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. But then a miracle happens. My vision turns white. My lungs spasm in one last desperate gasp, and then there's nothing. I'm finally free. I thought it would be scary, which is why I trembled so much, but I think I'm getting used to it now. It's not that bad, really. Not existing. There are worse things you can do than disappear. What? Hey, Amy, can you hear me? Please tell me you can hear me. Wake up. You have to wake up. Don't do this to me. Ayumi? It sounds like somebody's calling out to me. From the void. My head is starting to hurt again. What's going on? It's time to wake up. Your potential girlfriend is here. Waiting for you. Let's make a save. Okay, let's look at what's going on. Seems we have an unease. And there's an eyeball right here. I like where this is going. There's somebody standing by my bedside. Somebody I don't know. She has long, fair hair tied to a ponytail. And she's wearing clothes which I suppose are fairly fashionable. Yeah, if you live in the 60s. As far as appearances goes, she's quite cute. And it doesn't hurt that her face is sweet either. Her eyes are very wide, her iris is indigo, and her nose is small and snub. Her skin is white like milk or like snow, and her fingers are slender. Nah, she has a relatively similar skin tone to me. Pale. But white? Nah. Only angels would look like that. She's so pristine. In a ruffled blouse and her high-waisted skirt, she hardly looks human. Maybe it's a demon? You never know. I can't see a single blemish on her skin. She's almost too pretty. What is a girl like that doing in my apartment? I feel dazed, and the girl's breathy exclamation of relief when my eyes open do little to reassure me this isn't a dream. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're finally awake. Oh, you're finally awake, and that thief over there. You were out for hours, Ayumi. I was so worried. I don't know her name, but she seems to know mine. Are we friends then? We must be more than acquaintances, given the familiar way she's talking to me. I don't remember having any friends like her, though. I don't remember having friends at all. No, I better not think about that. My head is starting to hurt again. I'm sorry, but this is all kind of a lot. What's going on? Oh, you poor thing. You must be really sick if you have to ask that. I'm sick? Yes, you are. Your temperature was almost 38 degrees when I last checked. Okay, now, this is where you have to ask the question. Fahrenheit? Or Celsius? Because if it's Fahrenheit, you're dead. If it's Celsius, you're getting there. I'd say it was about 2 hours ago. I've kept myself busy since then cleaning this place, but I was worried about you. I'm glad you decided to call me this morning. I'd hate to think of you suffering on your own. You were so hot I was thinking I might even have to call the hospital. My apartment is shifting and so is this girl's concerned face. Everything keeps juddering. Am I really that sick? Yeah, you look pretty sick. Though you haven't actually been sick, thank goodness, that's a relief. It seems like your fever might be breaking now, though. You sound pretty lucid for the most part. Maybe I should test you, though. How many fingers am I holding up? Just one? No, she's holding two. Can you not see her thumb pointed upward? Good, I'm glad there's no problems with your vision, at least. I guess I'm the one who's sick. What's your favorite food? Pork cutlet, I think. Favorite book? It's a light novel series. El Forest by Tsushimi Rui. And your birthday? October 6th, I think. Very good, and my birthday? I'm supposed to know this girl's birthday? I pondered this for a few moments. The girl must see my obvious distress. Silly, Ayumi. You've always been so bad with birthdays. My birthday is only a few days before yours. October 1st. Don't forget it, alright? Maybe you ought to make note of it. Might come in handy later. Maybe the game's telling me to write that down, so... When exactly? When you want to buy me a birthday present? And what about my name? Don't tell me you've forgotten that too. You are... I can't recall her name for the life of me. Well, that's no good. I thought you were on the mend. Maybe I was jumping the gun. I mean, geez. Imagine forgetting your own girlfriend. Now that's a surprise if I've ever heard one. Yeah, I know. You wake up, you were sick, you were in nothingness. Well, technically you were in a void or something. That's right, I'm Nagi, and we've been together for a month now already. We were talking to each other for longer than that, though, of course. We've only been going out for a little bit. But I thought you'd recall at least that much. I thought I was special to you. Oh great, now she's pouting at me and it's quite effective actually. What should I do? Aye. Let's reassure her I don't want to die. You are special to me, you're plenty special, I'm sure. I just feel a little mixed up now, that's all. My head's killing me. Well, so long as you're sorry. It's to be expected, I guess, that you'd be a little confused. Do you like me to fetch you any ibuprofen? What about some water? Don't go out of your way, I'm sure I'll live. You'd better if you don't than I would. Well, let's not worry about that right now. I think you need to sleep now more than anything. You want to get some more shut-eye? Do you mind? It would seem a little rude inviting you over, then, spending the whole time asleep. Oh, think nothing of it, I came here to help. She just wants to watch us while we sleep. Don't worry about me. You should be thinking about yourself right now, silly. Just relax here. Your super cute girlfriend is gonna do her darndest to help you recover. I'm not gonna leave until we got that fever of yours under control and that frown upside down. Right. Nagi's voice is high-pitched and it hits me like a freight train. It's relentless. I'm not sure if listening to her spiel is making me feel much better. Well, whatever. I'm sick, I must be confused. I shouldn't pay it too much heed. I yawn. Tears begin to beat in the corner of my eyes. Obediently, my eyelids begin to fall shut. I feel so tired. That's right, get some more sleep, Ayumi. Sleep as much as you like. I'm not gonna leave you. I'll always be here to take care of you. I promise. Now is that not creepy? I'm not sure how long I slept for, but when I wake up I feel distinctly groggy. I blink, attempting to disperse the white spots that are scattered in front of my vision. The back of my head is still pounding. I still feel out of it, regardless of how much I've slept. Takes me a few moments before I realize I've seen her before. She was sitting next to me the last time I woke up. She said her name was... Nagi? That's right. It's good to see that you're awake, Ayumi. You were out of it for ages. You really must be tired. Well, that answers one question. I was wondering how long I'd been asleep. I'm pretty tired, yeah. Oh, that's funny. I was sure I had a clock there. Though I don't recall using it very much. Not in the last few months, at least. I didn't have any need for it. Did I throw it out? I don't remember doing that, though. Oh no. The unease is turning 10%. Oh. She must have noticed my expression twisting because she frowns. Is something bothering you? Oh no, I'm fine. I just want to know what time it was. The time, I think it's about midday. You woke up at 9, but you've been sleeping the last 3 hours. 3 hours? That's quite a lot. Yeah, you were asleep for a while. Like I said, poor thing. You've been laid very low indeed, but don't worry. I've not been hanging around doing nothing these last 3 hours. I've been watching you while you sleep. You did? I don't see any rice porridge. I did, yeah, it's still in the kitchen. Let me warm it up for you. Nagi rises to her feet, the hem of her skirt fluttering, then sets off. Nagi's wearing indoor slippers, so her feet don't make much noise. Her footsteps are cushioned. I guess she doesn't want to get my floor dirty. Not that it matters. My floor is filthy just like the rest of my room. It should be, at least. But my surroundings look tidier than I remember. My alarm clock isn't the only thing I see that's gone missing while I've been asleep. Ta-da! Nurse Nagi's back on the scene. 5 minutes after her departure, she arrives. She's smiling brightly and is holding a tray. This is for you, Ayumi. Eat up. On the tray, there's a bowl of warmed rice porridge, from which steam is gently exuding, and a cup of herbal tea. The rice porridge is milky white. The tea is a translucent copper color. They both look nourishing and smell pretty good too. Yeah, let's just drink it. Yeah, good. I'm sure this is fine. This porridge tastes as good as it looks. It should be delicious. -5 unease. Thanks, Nagi. I smile at my girlfriend, then pick up my spoon. This looks great. It's no problem, and you don't need to thank me. I am your girlfriend, after all. It should be a given that I'd look after you. I suppose it would, yeah. I blow on it, then I put the spoon in my mouth. What do you think? Let the porridge linger on my tongue for a few moments. It is rice porridge, after all. It's quite watery at that. This was very considerate of her. I'm not sure if I can handle any food that's too solid at the moment. I'd say it's pretty homey. It reminds me of my mother's cooking, actually. My mother used to make me rice porridge just like this when I was young and too sick to go to school. This is all rather nostalgic. It's good, yeah. Thanks, Nagi. I'm glad to hear it. I know my cooking isn't the best, but I've been trying. I want to get better all for your sake. She is the Yandere. I'm calling it right now. Aye, aye, Captain, I'll do my best. I'd prefer nurse over captain. The latter sounds a little too nautical. But whatever floats your boat. You just made a pun there. The tea wasn't as hot as I was fearing, and it doesn't scald my tongue. I wonder what exactly is in that tea. Where did Nagi get it? I don't recall buying any loose leaves. Not a big tea drinker. She probably brought it over from her house. There we go, that wasn't so hard, was it? I'm very proud of you, Ayumi. You'd be tempted to think, based on the way she's carrying on, I've just run a marathon, which, given how I feel right now, would be an impossibility. That porridge might have bolstered my strength, but there's no way in hell I'm ready to throw back my covers and start working out. Well, it was easy to eat your food. You're really good at cooking. Well, I don't know about that. There are better cooks out there than me, really. All I can really do is follow recipes. I'm not particularly gifted in the kitchen, but I've been working really hard to make food worthy of you. Worthy of me, you say? Yeah. You're a great guy, so it's a pretty tall order, but I'm not going to give in. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm sure I'll improve. According to the Ayumi, we are not a good guy. If anything, we're lazy. This is the least I can do for you, really, given how hard you work. But you don't work. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish the latest chapter of Crimson Fantasia by next Friday. Why does that name sound so familiar? I thought Nagi's rice porridge would give me strength, but it's not having much of an effect. I still feel wretched. Yes, Crimson Fantasia. Fortunately, she's with me, and she seems to know even more about me than I do at the moment, at least. I want to see what's going to happen, and I'm sure all your other fans do too. The last chapter ended on such a cliffhanger. I absolutely have to know what's going to happen to Eris. You can't kill her off. Not now, she's finally run out with her sister. What? I'll be really upset if she doesn't emerge from her scrape with the Arcanist alive. But I think I'm beginning to see at long last what she means. It's a web novel I've been working on. I borrowed a bit of inspiration from Tsushima Rui's L4 series, but Crimson Fantasia is much darker. Crimson Fantasia stars an average boy, Haru, who through a series of unfortunate happenstances winds up being reincarnated into a magical world called Grimoire. Oh, it's an isekai. They're so generic. They're not actually that alike. Our reason is for giving Itsuki is for one thing, and I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So generic. Not gonna lie. I wonder, are you a fan of Crimson Fantasia, Nagi? What sort of question is that? It was an earnest one, my mind is still all muddled. I can tell. I'm starting to worry you've forgotten everything. I haven't forgotten about Crimson Fantasia or its fan base. You like it as well, don't you? How can you ask that, you big dummy? I know you're trying to be modest, that's one of your most appealing traits, but you don't need to worry about that, not around me. You should know by now that I don't just like Crimson Fantasia, I love it. Oh yeah? Yeah, I'm its #1 fan. She's a stalker. Calling it. Yandere, stalker, something like that. That's how we ended up meeting, remember? The day you emailed me asking me out for a coffee. I was so excited I thought my heart would burst, like for real. And in a way, I guess you are. You're quite the big shot. Huh? This sounds plausible, but I have few doubts. Is Crimson Fantasia really that successful? We need to keep our unease at the bare minimum. Yeah, it's very popular. It was tough going at the beginning, certainly, but it's rather successful now. I could admit, however, in its early days of publication, it had barely any readers. My dreams of becoming a professionally published light novel writer, like Tsumishi Ryu, were beginning to look depressingly unattainable. But she was always there. She commented on every single new chapter of mine, even when I surpassed the 50-chapter barrier. Her screen name was Nagiko. I remember it well because I always looked forward to her feedback. Her comments were detailed, well-considered, and earnest. She asked me a lot of questions about the world setting, characters' philosophies, and their developing relationships. I thought her enthusiasm was pretty cute. Well, I say she, but I actually never knew she was a girl. I can't remember sharing any private emails, though. But if the smiling girl sitting at the sickbed is anybody, it makes sense that she'd be Nagiko. Did I pluck up the courage to email her after all? If so, that's pretty impressive. Go me. I'm not as socially awkward as I thought. So if you're Nagiko, I can feel my thoughts whirling around my head. That must mean you really are my girlfriend then. That's right. Who else would I be, silly Ayumi? I'm your girlfriend, and I love you lots and lots. I love you so much, in fact, I'm gonna do my best to nurse you back to tip-top fashion. Or my name isn't Nagi, and it looks like you could use it too. Now, let's see how your temperature's doing. Nagi peers into my eyes curiously. As our faces pressed precariously close, not knowing what else to do, sit there. Something about Nagi's irrefutable femaleness is amping this interaction up to 11. Why am I shaking so much? Doesn't blood run through Nagi's veins? She looks so perfect. She's so pretty, she might as well be made of plastic. You do feel pretty warm, yeah. I guess there's nothing else for it. You'll have to go back to bed, mister. Is that an order? It was more of a request. I can order you around, however, if you're into that. Should Nurse Nagi tell you to lie back down on the double? You could, yeah. What if I refuse, though? You don't want me to hurt you, do you? I know Nagi's joking, but the casual way she talks about hurting me makes me flinch. It brings back memories. I remember, but no, that was just a bad dream. I don't want to think about it. Perhaps I'd be better off sleeping after all. Okay. Let's go back to sleep. All minus all unease. Alright then, you know best. I don't want to make you worry, so I yawned and lie down in bed as a small obedient child. It'd be rude of me not to listen to my nurse. Yes, that's right. Bad patients with black hearts disobey their nurses, but I know you're not a bad patient. You've always been very sweet. That's why I like you so much. Now that's interesting. I thought you said you were my nurse. I am your nurse. I'm nursing you after all, what else would I be? Well, there's the thing. I hadn't realized it until I made on my pillow. But I really am tired. I thought you were also my girlfriend. I'm that too. I can be both, can't I? Isn't that a bit unprofessional of you? Is it? Dunno. Nurses aren't supposed to date their patients. I'm sure they have to sign some sort of waiver. You might get into trouble if news of our sordid affair comes to light. Oh, you. There's nothing sordid about me being in love with you. My feelings are very pure. You can say that to me till the cows come home. But it's your supervisor you'll have to convince. Would I get sent to prison just for falling for you? I don't know, maybe. Depends on how sick I am. That's not fair. It seems awfully cruel that the world would conspire to keep us apart. So you just need to stay here, Ayumi, with me, for all eternity. That way, nobody'll know I'm flouting the law. How does that sound? That might not be such a bad deal, actually. You think so? I'm glad to hear it. If that's what you want, then that's what you get. Oh no. What have we done? Just go to sleep. Rest your weary head. I'll be here for you. And I'll never, ever leave you. Nagi's voice is so hypnotic. I can't fight against it. She has me in her thrall. My eyelids were already drooping fall shut. And in a quiet, understated sort of way, I fall into a deep, dreamless sleep. I think I can hear somebody calling out to me, albeit vaguely. Ayumi? But their voice is so distant, it might as well be emanating from another planet. I don't need anyone else but Nagi. I don't want anyone else but Nagi. I just want to fall to sleep. And I never, ever want to wake up. Is this safe to eat? I still don't know who Nagi is, not really. She says she's my girlfriend, but I don't recognize her. For all I know, she could be a member of a cult. Could this all be a ploy to brainwash me? It's unlikely, but... Well, aren't you gonna eat? I wouldn't be surprised if it's true, though. I do feel pretty rotten. I don't know what to make of her hospitality. What do I even have to be suspicious of anyway? That'd be ridiculous. I'm not thinking clearly. Don't you like porridge? Oh no, it looks really good. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Aren't you gonna eat it then? We'll go cold if you keep dilly-dallying. It's no problem, and you don't need to thank me. I'm your girlfriend after all. This is a very bad scenario. Only in my dreams. No matter what Nagi says, I don't think Crimson Fantasia has ever been very popular. A few kind people commented on the story, saying it was promising, but even the regulars dropped off past the 10th chapter or so. I adored the story, but the public at large didn't seem to care very much. It was much harder to get any meaningful attention. I was a nobody, really. But she, at least, was always there for me. Yup. She's crazy. And you need to wake up. Stay awake. Nah, it's alright. I've already slept a lot. I don't think I'm ready to scratch 40 winks just yet. Are you sure? You'll never be able to shake this sickness if you don't get enough rest. I'm worried about you. Yeah, and I'm worried about myself too. I don't want to die. And I think we died in the last ending. I could get lost in those eyes if I let myself. I don't want to let my self-appointed nurse down, but it's fine. Don't worry yourself. You say that, but I know better. I beg your pardon? Does Nagi have some sort of dirt on me or something? You heard what I said. You say you can look after yourself, but who's the one who let his shower get all grotty, huh? Who's the one who left the huge box of potatoes your parents shipped from the countryside under your bed for months and months? Who's the one who never cooks? And on the rare occasion he tries, he peels his fingers or gets eggshell on his omelets. Who could that be, Ayumi? I'm sure I have no idea. I didn't know Nagi's face could do that. She doesn't look very cute now in the midst of chewing me out. Maybe I deserve it. I am a disaster of a human after all. I know I'm pretty awful at looking after myself. No, you don't say. And I'm glad I have you around to clean up after me. Wait, really? Do you remember everything now? Not entirely, no. I can remember the way my apartment used to look, though, which was something of a squalid hellhole, and that's being rude to squalid hellholes. If Nagi's the one who painstakingly swept my floor clean and everything, she's even better than her girlfriend. She must be like your mom. I remember that you've done a lot for me, yeah. And you're always putting me first, which is very sweet of you. You don't have to worry about me right now, though. I'm running a bit of a fever, sure, but it's not that serious. I'm not gonna die. You don't need to keep me in bed around the clock. So you say, but I'm afraid if I don't keep a close eye on you, you'll start pushing yourself too hard. That's why you need to rest. I'll be fine. Simply being with you is restful enough. Oh, Nagi stammers then blushes. I don't think that corny line would actually work on her, so I'm pretty surprised. It's like pulling teeth, only it was even more excruciating. I can't think of anything worse than making a clueless virgin write romance scenes. Are you sure about that, Ayumi? I'm quite sure. I'm getting tired of staying in bed, actually. So why don't you help me out? You took your time making that rice porridge, so I might as well do the washing up. I don't want her to think I'm a complete waste of space. Nagi, however, doesn't seem too impressed by my suggestion. Instead, she tuts. Don't be silly. You're much, much too tired to wash the dishes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go wash the dishes. That's why I came here, dummy. I did look after you so you can recuperate as much as you want. You should really be sleeping. But if you're really not tired, maybe you can sit in the kitchen with me while I do the washing up. Sure. Are you sure you want to hear about the next chapter, though? I don't mind. You always bounce around plot ideas around me, it's nothing new. Do I indeed? I can't really recall that. Then again, I can't recall much of anything. I shouldn't question it. Alright. Yay. We get started on the dishes then, you can come with. Am I actually gonna see a different background? She's close enough to me that I can feel her hair on my cheek. Ooh, now we're in the kitchen. Oh boy. We are now progressing. Let's try not to die. Her thoughtfulness is appreciated, though. She's being very gentle. Nagi settles me down at the table, then turns to the sink. The water cascades so against the basin of the sink in a regular manner, like rainwater down a gutter. Nagi begins to hum to herself as she washes up. It's a light, lilting sort of hum, something distinctly melodic. All the while, the pots in the sink begin to fill with water. I watch, captivated as the water bursts its banks, then spills over the side of the pot into the plug hole. What is wrong with you? Nagi continues her work like that for a brief while, unimpeded. So, Ayumi. Nagi glances at me from over her shoulder, still smiling. What's gonna happen in the next chapter? Well, I'm going to run away. I wasn't planning to kill Era Snow. She's a central part of the story. Without her, Haru would be totally lost. He relies on her a lot, just like she relies on him. They're pretty codependent. Well, I know that much. That's another reason why she can't die here. I won't accept that. She's to at least confess to Haru first. Otherwise, all the work you put into establishing their relationship would have been for nothing. Of course, I've considered that too, but the story isn't close to being over. I don't think she will. That'd be a bit too cliche. I was actually thinking of having Harmonia rescue her, actually. Oh, that'd be a great way to reestablish their friendship. I know Harmonia's wanted to get to know her sister better, but she's never had the chance. You know, it's really weird reading a visual novel. Talking about a web novel. Just putting that out there. I don't trust this girl. In the slightest. It seems so a bit appreciative, I guess. I know there's a familiar scene with Astra and Cornelia in Elf Forest, and well... she was only able to sneak out before because she was disguised. Now her parents know her old escape route, it'd be even harder for her to get away. It sounds very generic. I'm sure I've read a visual novel or web novel like that before. Oh, it's fine. I'm sure you'll be able to figure something out, Ayumi. You're a genius after all. No, I'm not. And I think it's selling you enough. You've written a lot of Crimson Fantasia. I think it's all super impressive. The characters are so lifelike. They feel like real people. They have so much depth, they have so many hopes and dreams. And the fight scenes are really cool too. I mean, obviously you can. You're the one who invented this whole universe. I guess. My reply when it comes is non-comical. I appreciate Nagi's support, but... Would Nagiko really say all that? Nagiko used to praise Crimson Fantasia a lot, but her praise wasn't devoid of constructive criticism. She would always tell me when certain story elements didn't come together. She complimented my work on the characters just like Nagi did, but she thought the drama introduced in chapter 34 with Eris's lost long sister Harmonia was sloppily executed. I don't think Nagika ever liked the inclusion of Harmonia in Crimson Fantasia. As much as Nagiko liked it, she never called me a genius either. I'm certain that of much, at least, but I'm imagining that. My head is starting to hurt again. I don't know what to think, but I do know, despite my misgivings, there's something not quite right about this. Nagi's smile looks all of a sudden disconcertingly or inorganic. The air around me begins to hum, as one full of 1,000 languidly buzzing insects. Reality seems to shift, to warp, and then... Ayumi? Nagi looks at me, her brow seized with concern. She's standing by the sink in one hand and she's holding quite a sharp, hefty knife. She must have been in the middle of cleaning it. Oh no. Somebody call an ambulance, but not for me. Nagi's fingers are wet and so is the front of her blouse. It's almost hypnotic. I find myself staring at the sharp blade of Nagi's knife and the water trickling down until my head begins to ache. I feel like I'm on the brink of remembering something, but... Looking worried, Nagi casts this knife into the sink where it lands with a dull and rushes over to me. She rests her hands on either side of my chair, effectively fencing me in, and leans towards me. Are you alright? I look at Nagi dazedly, her face inches away from mine. All of a sudden, everything feels like too much. The walls in my kitchen are clamped, claustrophobic. It feels like they're closing in on me. I can't breathe. I close my eyes, squeezing them shut in an attempt to steady myself. I smell copper, rust, and blood. My eyes are beating inside my skull in tandem with my heart. My stomach churns. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Ayumi? Once again, my eyes meet Nagi's. They're full of concern, practically pregnant with it, and I feel guilty for worrying her. Some boyfriend I am, I'm sorry. I just felt a little lightheaded, that's all, but I'm fine now. You don't need to worry about me. Well, of course I'm gonna worry about you. I care about you. I know you want to act all tough and all, but you don't need to put up a front around me. I can see right through you. You're feeling sick again, aren't you? Maybe a little. I knew it. You guys are all the same, I swear. You're all so boneheaded. You like to act tough even when you're unwell until it all gets too much and you can't keep pretending. By that point, it's already too late. You're awful at asking for help. Now, let's get you settled again beneath your sheets. I'll not have you overexerting yourself, not on my watch. I'm actually feeling a little better since that strange experience I'd had. But I doubt anything good will come from telling Nagi about this. I don't think she'll listen to me. She looks too annoyed. Alright, you know best. I don't want to make my nurse worry, so I'll try to take better care of myself. See to it that you do. I can help, but there's only so much I can do. It's with this stern rebuke that Nagi helps me to my feet. She guides me back to my bedroom, her left arm wound about my wrist to steady me. I let her walk to my bedside and sit me down. There, that's much better. You should be safe now, so don't fret. I'm going to keep a really close eye on you, see? I'm not going to let anyone hurt you, not while I'm around. Not even you. I watch on, my interest peaked. Nagi retrieves a mysterious object from the ground. It's woolen, but whatever it is, it's comprised of numerous pastels. A shape strange and indeterminate, immutable almost. A pair of spiked implements which, if their ends weren't so blunt, might be a good way to torture somebody. Hey Nagi, what's that? Oh, this? I just thought I'd do some knitting. I know it's one of my hobbies. Do I know that? I'm not sure, but I probably should. Hope this isn't bothering you. Oh no, it's fine. I don't mind. Please feel free. That's what I like to hear. I do some knitting, then while you lie down. Do you want to have a nap? Not just yet, I'm not tired. You sure? You look a little drowsy to me. Yeah, turn on the TV. It's a great idea. A shiver runs down my spine and unnerved, I glance away. I'm not liking Nagi's fingers much different from my own. Even if her skin is paler, they don't look quite right. They remind me of a doll's. Do they have too many joints? That's ridiculous though, surely. Hey, me, something wrong? Oh no, I'm fine. Let's see what's on the TV, shall we? That sounds like a plan to me. I never really bothered watching it myself because the shaky picture made me feel seasick. I think I can endure that right now, though. Past the news, too depressing. Some documentary about lions on the Serengeti, which she said is too violent until she settles on some kids' cartoons. Seems to be a magical girl show. Is it Sailor Moon? I'm not really into kiddie stuff like that, but I can deal with it. Is this already in me? It's fine, I guess. Wish the screen wasn't flickering so much, though. Good, let's leave this on then. I'm pretty fond of this series, actually. You are? Who doesn't love magical girls? I don't. It's disturbing. You are disturbing me. That's what all little girls want to be. How'd we go? Were you able to make your dream come true? Well, none of my wishes on shooting stars have come true just yet. I did figure, however, I don't need to save the whole world. My love might be balanced, but my energy isn't. I can't be everywhere at once. You should be nowhere at once. But I can be by your side. That's all I want, really. Then you're gonna be my magical girl? Why not? Was that really necessary? All fair love and war, Yumi. And anyway, you know I'm right. You were really in a bad state before you met me. I feel like we were knocked out by her and she's just... click, clack, clack. But we don't need to worry about that because I'm here. I'll always be here. That's what magical girls do. I thought you were my nurse, though. There's nothing stopping me from being a magical nurse. I guess not. She is suspicious. You can draw? You know I can draw, silly. Who do you think sent you all the fan art of Eris? Good point. It's quite the impression. Nobody else had ever drawn me art of my characters. I was so elated when I received those drawings. If anyone had seen me, they probably would have thought I looked creepy. Maybe I did. That was the first time I'd ever felt so happy. The warm feeling floods my stomach once more as contented. I look back at the television set. Main magical girl, whose name is, of all things, Pumpkin, facing off with what I presume is the final boss. I can't let this stand. I have to save. I won't give up her dreams. The colors on the screen are a little distorted, and so is Pumpkin's voice. I continue to watch the show, but Nagi continues to knit. The regular clack, clack, clack of her needles acts as a backdrop to the action on screen. It's quite the soothing sound. My eyelids begin to droop. I think I must have begun at some point to drift off. But I'm swiftly snapped into consciousness by a series of harsh electronic beeps. That sounds familiar. Is that my phone? Somebody must be trying to call me. I clean forgot. And I was looking for a clock earlier about my phone. Now I can hear my phone ringing. Why didn't I think to check it earlier? Ignore that. Huh? I look at Nagi nonplussed. What's the matter? That infernal buzzing's the matter. Don't bother with your phone. I doubt it's anything important. Just hand it over to me. You're too sick to take any calls right now. But nothing. Yeah, she's starting to get very angry. Hello, girlfriend. Should I say stalker? She inhales. Then she says very calmly. I'm saying this for your own good. Don't look at me like that. I would never ever do anything to hurt you. My phone is still buzzing in my pocket. But it would be equally easy to hand my phone over to Nagi. She's doing this for my sake, what should I do? I'm gonna answer the phone and die. Nagi may not be happy with this, but the continued buzzing is making me wonder. It's with this thought in mind I extricate my phone from my pocket. I was hoping to look at the collared system light, but it's an unknown number. Well, that's not very helpful. It's probably a scam call. Hello, who is this? I can't hear anything on this end of the line. Was this a waste of time? I try again. Somebody's crying. They're crying my name. Oh, Yumi. Oh, please, Yumi. It's hard to identify the speaker, given the call and it's modulated with static. I think we're in a coma currently. And this girl wants us to die. Ayumi, please wake up. What do they mean by that? Did I mishear them? I think that's enough of that. Frowning, Nagi reaches out. She clicks her tongue, then she hangs up. What a waste of time. You shouldn't have answered them, I told you not to. But, Nagi, I look at Nagi at my girlfriend uneasily. I can't see my own expression, of course I can feel it twisting. I don't know who's calling and they seem distressed. It doesn't mean anything, it was just a prank. Don't pay it any heed. I'm gonna pay it a lot of heed. I'm gonna try to wake up and go home. People can be so inconsiderate, they must have too much time on their hands. No, I think it's actually our girlfriend, not you, who's probably a demon. I'll try to forget about it then. Good, glad to hear about it. The matter with the mysterious caller settled, a giggling Nagi returns to her knitting. The regular, repetitive sound of Nagi's needles puts me in a mind-cracking bone. Nagi looks content enough. My stomach is churning again. What's going on here? I'm sure there's something more to Nagi than what it might seem initially. Plus through unease, I can't think of what that something more might be. I don't know who she is, but I'm afraid to know. I'm afraid to ask. I don't want to hear the answer. I should just keep quiet. It's easy to pretend that everything's alright. Clack, 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 and with that, sightless eyes and seeing eyes, I turned my attention back to the television. Some time passes like this. I don't know how much until Nagi eventually sits her knitting down. It's getting late, I must have gotten carried away. I didn't realize that being so engrossed in the TV screen. It was a light. Azure blue beyond the pales of my window when I last looked, but now it's not. The sky is pitch black. I suppose it's true what time says. I suppose it's true what they say. Time flies when you're having fun. Were you having fun? I would have thought you'd been bored out of your mind sitting with me all day. Perish the thought, being with you is never boring. You're my boyfriend after all, and I love you a lot. How could I ever find your company dull? I was barely any company. We weren't even talking. We don't need to. Being with you is enough to make me happy, silly. If Nagi's telling the truth, then. She must have low standards. I don't think there's anything special about me when I'm awake and alert. Nagi must have some sort of agenda here. Either that or she's easy to please. I wonder which is worse. Now. I should probably prepare some dinner for you, dear. You must be starving. Huh. I should be a lot hungrier than I actually am. Let me see what we got in the fridge. Nagi heads off to the kitchen. I hear the sound of the kitchen door opening, then a faraway rustle of activity. What will she find in there? Is there anything to find? I can't remember the last time I went to the store. I'm surprised I had enough ingredients lying around for her to make rice porridge. A few moments pass before they hear the faint sound of a kitchen door slamming. Nagi must have given up on her search for sustenance. There isn't very much in the fridge. Nothing, at least I can really use. I think we have to go to the convenience store. You don't mind waiting a little for dinner, do you? No, that's fine. Are we gonna be able to explore the house? You can't really go wrong with rice crackers. They don't make most nutritious of meals, but they probably taste fine. Like a rice cake. I'm sure you will. You don't need to fuss, I'm not a child. No, you're not, but sometimes you can be so petulant. Am I being petulant right now? Well, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Promise me you'll stay here, won't you? Be a good boy now. Yeah, I promise. Hey, don't yeah me, mister. I'm saying this because I care about you. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm mad. Nagi's voice is light, but I can sense a threatening undercurrent beneath her words. She sounds very invested in making me stay here. Does she really think I'm that frail? It's not like I'm gonna turn to dust the moment I step outdoors. That's what I like to tell her, but something about her expression makes me snort. It isn't the sort of expression I want to argue with. Right, I'll stay here. You promise? That's right, I promise. Good, I'll hold you to that. Don't forget, Ayumi. If you lie, I might just have to make you swallow 1,000 needles. Isn't that a little harsh? No, it's a fairly standard punishment, I think, as far as things go. In any case, you would deserve it. You might be my wonderful boyfriend, but I won't absolve you of all your crimes. Lying is bad, Ayumi. It's a sin, and lying to a cute girl like me is the biggest sin of all. Now that's an interesting way of looking at things. Does lying become more grievous of an offense the cuter the person being lied to is? I've never heard that one before. It's not in the Bible. I'll be off now then. Stay safe, darling. I will. See you later. But of course, I'll be back before you know it. With her shoes on, she then stands, her pale, slender fingers curling around the door handle. Her handle shifts, the lock clicks, and Nagi steps out of the hallway. And now that she's gone, I feel relieved. In Nagi's absence, I can finally breathe again. In her company, I found myself forever holding my breath. Sweet though she might be, I don't feel comfortable with her around. She might call herself my girlfriend, but how can that be? I can't remember spending any time with her before, and regardless of how sick I am, it seems unlikely that my fever would be strong enough to completely obliterate all my memories. The things she says aren't mapping onto the things I know. I have no idea how she got into my apartment, nor why she seems to know so much about me, but I don't know if I can trust her. I don't know if I can take that risk. I don't think I want to spend more time with her. Then what should I do? Should I see her in my bed, like a good little boy waiting for an inevitable, invariable return from the shop? Or would it be better served to try to stage an escape? You know what they say, you only live once. I turn my options over in my head. I'm gonna have to leave. Something strange is going on here. I'm not gonna make any headway in that if I do everything she asks of me. If that's the case, I have no choice but to stage a jailbreak. I throw my covers back, which feels a little damp. Must have sweated all over them. They're just strong enough that I can support myself. Strong enough to buoy me from my bedside and over to the kitchen. I push the door open, which cleaves to my touch with a creak, and I step inside. My fingers fly forward to my forehead and I groan. What? My vision begins to blur. I blink. I'm not gonna pass out, am I? Is my fever really that bad? I see a sink piled high with dirty pots and dishes, some of which are cracked. The countertops are covered with crumbled empty soda bottles and aluminum cans. Flies hum in the air, because that's what a real house looks like. There are flies in the dustbin. One of them lands on my forearm and I cry in alarm. I slap at the fly, it buzzes off, its wings beating back and forth with a drowning hum. A dull pain throbs in my arm where I slap myself in pain. I blink and then... the world has reverted back to the way it was before. Everything is impeccably tidy. It's a tidy kitchen, indisputably, but it isn't my kitchen. It isn't what I remember. None of this is. The world is warping around me. Why does my head hurt so much? I stagger through the kitchen on uneasy feet, half expected to step on crumbled pet bottles and strewn packages from convenience store food and head towards the sink. With unfocused eyes, I look down. There should be dirty crockery in here, but my expectations are once again betrayed. She must have forgotten it. That was awfully clumsy of her. I eyed the knife with some trepidation. I can see my own face reflected in its silvery surface. It almost seems to be goading me into taking it. Maybe I ought to bring it with me just in case. I don't know, I feel so unnerved, however. A bit of protection would go a long way. This knife is quite long, though. There's no way I'd actually be able to hide it on me. Ah, there's some scissors I use for cutting meat. Oh boy. We needed our self-defense weapon. What should I do? Okay. Let's make 2 saves here. We're gonna take the knife! The knife would probably be my best bet. If Nagi should try to hurt me. Not of course that I hope she will, the knife should help me fight back. I'm hoping it'll be fairly self-explanatory. I fully expected to be locked, why would I be surprised? That was quite the surprise, I'm not sure if it was wholly pleasant. If the door had refused to budge, that would have given me an excuse to give up. I wouldn't have had to take my future to my own hands. It sounds like quite a tempting thought, though. But no, I can't let myself think like that. I have to get out of here. It's time to face reality. Thoughts like this swirl through my mind as I stand there in the threshold of the door. I can't see any windows. I don't know what the outside looks like. It's just one endless hallway, beige walls on a brown floor. Fluorescent lights and the lights are too bright. My eyes are starting to hurt. My head hurts too. I squeeze my eyes shut and attempt to steady myself. I inhale. Then I step into the hallway. The door of my apartment swings shut behind me with a dull thud. One that seems almost apocryphal. There'll be no turning back now. I pad down the hallway softly. Slowly, my footsteps shy and shuffling. I'm grimly aware, with every step I take, Nagi might return. I turn around anxiously as I walk. Doors pass by me, door after door, but they're all shut. The handles affixed to the doors look oddly sinister in the dark. They protrude from the smooth wooden surfaces of the doors like something violent. The light catches on some of the door handles, dozens of them, stretching on for infinity, and I shiver. It feels like the hallway is choking on me. Where are the stairs? How am I going to escape? Maybe I was a fool to disobey. I shouldn't have ignored her. She told me to stay inside for a reason. She told me not to leave because I can't leave. It isn't an option. I want to turn back, but I don't. Instead, I continue to walk. I walk and walk and walk until the backs of my feet rub against my shoes and it starts to hurt. My heart is hammering in my chest. I can hear it reverberating inside my skull. It doesn't stop me from moving, though. I keep on walking. I walk and I walk and I walk and I walk, and the back of my feet are still rubbing against my shoes. It still hurts. My heart is hammering in my chest. I can hear it reverberating inside my skull. It doesn't stop me from moving. I continue to walk. Her unease is at 100. Oh boy. Ooh. I reach what seems to be a bend in the hallway. There's something different, at long last. I must be making progress. I carry onwards. But like all nightmares, my attempts... I suppose I should have expected it. I think part of me did. She's here. She's come to greet me. Her irises are cold and hard, like two stones pressed into her skin. Her lips pursed into a line which betrays not even the slightest flicker of emotion. I inhale. What are you doing here? Might be a more apt question. I know what she's doing here. She's come to stop me from leaving. As for what her motives are, however, you have to ask. Devoid of cheery lit which I've grown so accustomed. I'm your girlfriend, Ayumi. I love you more than anyone else in the whole world. She might as well be talking about the weather. You shouldn't be out here. I told you not to leave. I made you promise. You said you were gonna stay put, why didn't you? Do you want to upset me? That's not it. Then what is it? There wasn't any reason, I just wanted some fresh air. It's almost laughable. Maybe you shouldn't lie. We have a knife, you know. Use it. There's no fresh air to be had here. What a fool I am. Nagi takes a step forward. Her hair shifts around her shoulders. Her eyes bore into mine quietly, she says, I don't believe you. If fresh air was all you were after, then why'd you take that knife with you? I hadn't forgotten about the knife per se, but I'd forgotten what its purpose was. I meant to use it to what? Debilitate Nagi if she should try to stop me? Can I really do that? You shouldn't be walking around with that, Ayumi. You'll hurt yourself. Give it to me, please. Her voice is a void just like her face, and this somehow is even more chilling than anger would be. At least I'd like to know how to react to it. At least it'd make her feel more human. No. I can't give it to you. You can't? Or you won't. I mean... What do you mean to do with it? I'm gonna make dinner, silly. It'd be a shame to let all the ingredients go to waste. That's why you're acting out like this, you're hungry. It is that'll do. No, it's not. My unease is out through the roof right now. Won't you let me look after you? I need to wake up. What should I do? Nope. No. I need to wake up. I won't let you look after me. How can I when I don't even know who you are? What do you want from me? I just want to take care of you. I don't believe you. You called me a liar, but I don't think you've ever been honest to me. Who are you anyway? Already told you who I am. Or who you wish I was in any case. Isn't that more or less the same thing? No, it's not. Leave me. Let me go. I'm sorry, Ayumi, but I can't do that. Why not? Because there's nowhere to let you go to. You can't leave. What else do you think you've been walking for so long? This world won't allow it. It is though, just accept it. You'll be happier that way. Now give me the knife. Leave me alone. Give it to me now, otherwise you'll be sorry. I'm sorry already. I'm sorry any of this happened. I'm sorry I ever met you, just leave me alone. I can stick my soles from the ground, which seemed during the last few minutes to have rooted themselves, and dash forward the best I can. I draw my right hand, meaning to strike a blow against Nagi. I mean to plunge the back of this knife inside her chest where her cold, unfeeling heart beats. Gugh, oh dear, well, don't say I didn't warn you. But my best attempts are all in vain. If Nagi did have any eggs in the bag, a couple of them probably cracked from the... Oh crap. Nagi, you. When I move my hand away, I can see through the dazed and half-lidded eyes that my palm is stained a bright garnish red. I underestimated her. I didn't know her reflexes were so swift. I didn't think she'd be overpowering me this easily. It hurts. It hurts. I slumped to the ground, my knees hit the carpet in perfect synchrony, with one muffled thud. I can't breathe. Hurts more than I thought it would. Oh, Ayumi. You really are. You have no idea what's good for you. This could have all been avoided if only you'd listened to me. But it's not too late for you. We can try this again. This is your dream. Why don't we give that a try? No. I don't want to. It hurts so much I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I love you when you're working hard to pursue your passions. I love you. No. I need to wake up. Wow. I'm going numb. Nagi's here to catch me. She won't leave me. She told me she wouldn't. I might be an awful liar, but I'm never gonna let you go. I'm probably getting the front of Nagi's blast bloody. She continues to cradle me. I tremble. Then a miracle happens. My vision turns black. Huh? Let's try scissors. Taking the scissors might be the best bet after all. I might be able to conceal them fairly easily, and the blade should still be sharp enough if push comes to shove. I'm just taking the precautions necessary against an unknown enemy. That doesn't mean I'll actually use the scissors, though. Hope I don't have to. I can feel the blades impressing themselves against my thigh, even through the fabric of my trousers. They're cold and unforgiving, as weapons tend to be. With some luck, they should be able to cut my connection with Nagi, too. Nagi, please. I think you're lying to me, and that is one thing I cannot forgive. You've upset me, Ayumi. You've been a very bad boy. Wait, can't we talk about this? Did she ever care about what I wanted? Her grip on the carrier bag slackens. The bag hits the floor. You promised me you wouldn't leave. You promised. How could you lie to a little girl like me? How could you? I don't think she can be reasoned with. Discourse was never an option. I have no choice but to run. I don't know where exactly, but Nagi means to me. I need to run. Run! Reality's contracting about itself, it's compressing, the world is shrinking. My world is this apartment, and the apartment is under her control. Does that make Nagi the world? What am I then? Can I really escape from her? I don't know, but I have to try. The walls around me are morphing, they're melting. Wallpaper flakes often strips around me as though the apartment is peeling itself like a giant apple. The light fixtures above me blink. They gutter. The world is plunged into darkness, but for illuminating itself again. The world is pulsating. It changes so much with every single step. Is she gaining on me? I can't turn around. I dash through the beige hallways and blue hallways, garish orange hallways and high-ceilinged hallways. The hallways are always devoid of windows. You need to turn around and get her. I didn't bother to throw the trash bags away. I didn't try to get rid of the flies. It felt like a pointless endeavor. I've been enduring a lot recently. I can't keep doing that. I need to escape. I've no idea how long I've been running. These hallways seem to stretch on forever. I can't make any sense of them. My mind seems to have shrunken during my desperate flight to the size of a walnut. I can't fit any thoughts inside my head. They're leaking out of me. I'm coming undone. I like that song. I don't think she'll ever stop. It doesn't matter how fast I run, she'll find me again. She is my girlfriend after all. But why? It's with this question in mind I finally escaped from the maze of hallways which trapped me among them. Hold up. We actually made our way outside the halls? That's cool. I recognize this room. This is the entrance of my apartment building. This is my plan, at least. But my jubilation soon runs dry when I approach the exit. The doors are glass, but I can't see anything upon them. I can't even see the sky. Where did the rest of the world go? I approach the doors. They seem to be automatic, but they don't move. Well, crap. So much for that plan. Now I don't even know why I bother running. She knew there was nowhere for me to go. What do you think you're doing? Didn't I tell you it was pointless? You don't need to reply to me, don't bother. I don't want to hear any more of your lies. It hurts me, you know, when you run away from me like this. Can't you understand that? She's relentless. Let's stop playing silly games. Come back upstairs with me and let me put you to bed. Where were you hoping to gain by coming down here? Didn't you give up on the outside world already? You must have, otherwise. You never would have been able to meet me. Something about what Nagi said strikes a chord within me. I feel like I've been drifting ever since I woke up, but something has clicked into place. I can remember what happened. First there was pain. For a while, pain was all I knew. The smell of oil in the air. There was blood, too, lots of it. My temple was cut, my body was crumbled, I could hardly breathe. People around me were shouting, screaming. Somebody probably called an ambulance. This is where everything starts to get hazy. When I finally woke up, I was here and Nagi's sitting next to me. I've never had a girlfriend before, and now I'll never get the chance. I was hit by a car. I should be dead. What's going on? You couldn't handle the real world, Ayumi. It was too much for you. You were delicate, so you got scared. You were afraid you would break. You decided to run away from it all. No. We're still alive. I think. You're a coward. Then her white slender finger seized my neck. Reality distorts the moment she touches me. My head hits the carpeted side with a thud, just like they did on the roadside. I blink. I don't know how much time has passed, but when I finally come to, she's sitting on top of me, pinning me in place. Huh. I can't escape. She has me immobilized so effectively. Just give it up. We still have those scissors. People like you can't survive in the real world. You weren't made for it, you're too sensitive. Nagi fingernails biting on my skin, it hurts. You kept picking yourself up as you could, but eventually it was too much. So you couldn't keep going. But there's no shame in that. You already recognized your limitations. That's why you did what you did. I don't need to tell you about your failures. You already know them. Why are you doing this? You should already know. I'm doing this for your sake. Deep down, I think you know the same. Isn't this what you wanted? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think I want to remember. She said I walked into a road. It can't have been an accident then. I haven't been happy or well adjusted in a long time. It's all coming back to me. I remember who I am. I'm Sato Ayumi, a second-year student at a small, relatively unimpressive university in Tokyo. I've always been quiet, never had too many friends. My first year was lonely. It was expected of me. I said I'd been having fun, but that was a lie. I was tired and stressed and overwhelmed, more often than not, and I was sad with it, because everybody else seemed to be enjoying themselves, but I wasn't. I don't know how to enjoy myself. It was partway into my second year I gave up on everything. Oh no. Then who was calling you, telling you to wake up? I didn't clean up my apartment, so I started to sink. Opened my windows during the summer when it was hot and muggy. I rarely brushed my teeth, barely showered, and hardly ever changed my clothes. I didn't go anywhere, I didn't speak to anybody. I had no plans, obligations, or responsibilities. And for a few days it did. Finally it felt, for the first time in a while, I could breathe. But the air, when I breathed it in, stank of rancid food and unwashed body. I'm surprised the people living in the apartment across the hall didn't complain about me. Until I reached Jimmy Ray's All Forest. That's when I hit upon the idea of writing a story of my own. So, because you were in a bad, very bad circumstance, you chose to write your own web novel? I mean, I guess that makes a little sense. Sometimes that's all it takes. I wrote and I wrote like a man possessed. Made the days pass by more quickly. I already knew most of it. I just needed to get the story out of my head and onto a laptop. I repurposed this old blog ad ages ago. I uploaded my story chapter by chapter, sometimes updated thrice weekly, and I waited. I wasn't expecting miracles, of course. I didn't think despite my daydreams would attain the same level of success as Al Forrest. Nobody really. I was just a university dropout with an overactive imagination. I just wanted to know my story out there was in the world. It would legitimize my efforts. My desires were fairly humble, or so I thought, and within the first few days, they were actually exceeded. 42 times. I'll never forget it. It was the first comment I ever received from Nagiko. Her feedback, I've always thought of her as a girl, was far more in depth than the other two commenters. She praised the oppressive atmosphere of the story. She wanted him to be happy too. I thought about the review for days afterward. It was Nagiko's early support that encouraged me to continue working on it. I began to make some changes too. I post new chapters semi-regularly and Nagiko commented on all of them. She gave me regular feedback for months on end. I didn't do anything during these months beyond writing Crimson Fantasia. I wrote and wrote and wrote, fueled by her praise. But this idyllic period didn't last forever. These things never do. It was on chapter 53 where she stopped. Well, I tried to tell myself these things happen. She could have been working night shifts, she could have been studying for exams. A week passed, 2 weeks passed. Eventually a month passed and she did not leave a comment. I'd written more chapters in the interim and published them, but Nagiko didn't give any feedback. It'd all been forgotten about. Nagiko had stopped caring about Grimoire and about Haru and his adventures. She, who had been the most ardent, steadfast supporter, drifted away from my world and from me. I stopped caring about my characters. I stopped caring about myself too, which is probably why I did it. But clearly, someone's telling you to wake up. You wanted to be happy, right? Well, you can forget about that. You'll never be happy in the real world. And even if they did, they wouldn't care. Nagiko didn't care, but I do. I'm better than she is. That's why you should stay here. What is that love based on, after all? You're not Nagiko, then. I'm not, no. You never did pluck up the courage to speak to her, though you really wanted to. You wanted to talk to her, didn't you? You wanted her to be a pretty homey girl who would support you. Yup. And that's why you created me. Aren't I your ideal woman? Isn't this what you want? Don't try to argue with it, please. It's a waste of breath. And that's a precious resource you can't really afford to waste. I know everything that you think. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to me. It's hard to breathe, but I still try. Is any of this real? That depends on your definition of the word. You did lose a lot of blood. Your thoughts must be all jumbled. I'm sure this has all been very confusing for you ever since you woke up. I still have the scissors. But if this is a dream, why fight against it? Reality is no good. You know, no matter what you're going through, you can't live in dreamland. You wanted more than a made-up happiness. You wanted somebody to love you. You tried to endure your loneliness as best you could, but you couldn't keep going. Please make it stop. It hurts too much. I can't keep enduring this. Nagi, please. I love you no matter how pathetic you are. It hurts so much. I thought I already died once, so why? Why don't you let me do that? Stay with me. All you need to do is obey. Don't fight me. You don't want to break my heart, do you? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It hurts. But now you said she's gonna take care of me. Will she make the pain go away? You need to wake up, Ayumi. I have scissors. Giving in to her demands would be the easy option, but I don't think it's the right option. It's sure not. I thought I'd better if I keep away from people. I'm starting to doubt it. I don't want to run away from reality. I was wrong. I don't want to die. I don't want to disappear. There's still a lot I want to do. I want to tell my parents how much I appreciate them. I want to dry my mother's tears. I want to write more words too. Even if there's nobody there to read them. Not even Nagiko. I don't want to betray my dreams. I don't want to betray my characters. I have to keep struggling, just like Haru. And this is thought which spurs me to take action. If she's not gonna place, I won't either. It's not like it won't matter much anyway. She isn't real. I made her up. She's a construct, just like Haru and Eris and Harmonia. And I put them through a lot worse. I can do the same thing with Nagi. I won't let her stop me. My fingers creep surreptitiously to my pocket, where my scissors are stashed. My eyes narrow with determination, and then... Ayumi, what are you? I strike. I pull the scissors out from my pocket as quickly as I'm able and thrust them upwards. Nagi stumbles back, one hand clasped over her face. I like this ending. Nagi's shoulders are convulsing. Red sticky blood is seeping between her splayed fingers. It drips against the carpeted floor like falling rain. Her cheeks rise and falls erratically beneath her blouse. You'll regret this. How could you? I only did what I have to do. Wipe my scissors down on my shirt and then get to my feet. I look down at her who slumped on the ground still bleeding. Don't act like you wouldn't have done the same to me. I was trying to help you. Yes, I know. That's what you thought. But staying here isn't helpful. I'll never get anything done like this. You hypocrite. You were the one who shut yourself away in the first place. I wanted to make your dreams come true. Everything I did was for your sake. How could you? I'm sorry, demon. I want to go home. Wake up, and I'll deal with you. She's my shadow. Sorry, I know you mean well, but this isn't what I want anymore. I want to give it a satisfying conclusion for her sake, but she doesn't care about you. Maybe she did, that's alright though. I don't need her approval to keep writing. I don't need anybody's approval. I still want to keep going. I want to finish what I started at the very least. And that means I can't let things end here, so you're gonna go back? I guess I am. I guess it sounds a little silly when you phrase it like that. But it's not true, you know. That nobody cares about Crimson Fantasia. Maybe she doesn't, I do though. I'm not so jaded that I've given up, even if you have. I want to see how my story ends. It'd be a waste not to. I let my scissors drop to the floor and then glance around. It's been a while since I exerted myself in general. I came over the last few months to associate my apartment with safety. I didn't even have to answer to anyone other than myself. I didn't want to. I couldn't handle the outside world like Nagi so distinctly said, so I hid from it. By sitting in the same spot, unmoving. Although, it's time to wake up. Other times looked bright red. Her lips mean all her pursed like a princess from fairy tales. I'm sure she would be able to forgive me for hurting her. She's no choice in the matter. It's time to wake up, Ayumi. It's finally time to wake up. How cool. So we woke up. That's interesting. It's very psychological, too. Not giving up, how people will give up. Sadly, we don't get to see who was crying and asking you to wake up. Maybe it was yourself. Your subconscious. Oh well. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. As always, goodbye.